Hey guys, this is UC from iTradePrice. Welcome to the weekly newsletter video clip where we go over the charts and multi time frames and go through the price action based analysis on these some of the names that we follow and trade. But before we get started here, some of the folks reached out and one of them was a member as well, asking about why do we not give the exact entry of the day trades that we do. And the reason is that that is not what this iTradePrice platform is all about. It is, you have to think about what is the product. The product is the price levels. Okay. So we are trying to trade around the price levels, because our thinking is that once the stock hits a certain price, a key level, it tries to resolve from that price level sooner versus later. Okay, so we are trying to capture that move off of that price level, whether it bounces from that level, whether it gets rejected from that price level or breaks out from that level. Okay, that's what the morning commentary is about. That's what the morning charts that I post on the Twitter feed is all about. Okay, that is what the my idea is to give you high probability, high quality setup, so that when you get in this trade at a certain price level, it resolves sooner. You don't have to sit all day trying to figure out what is going to happen. And you already have a plan. And you are just going to execute that plan in the market hours, right? You have to prepare every morning and give your trading some structure. There should be an action plan for the day, and that is what we share in the morning based on the price levels, okay? And that is what you have. So act on it, trust those price levels, and otherwise you will never learn. You will hop from one service to the other trying to look for somebody to alert you and tell you, hey, I got in at Amazon 3400C expiring this week at such and such price. And the next thing you go and take a look at it, it's the price is already moved and you're like, what's going on? Or even if you get in at the price that that is close to the alert price, it's not going anywhere because you just don't know what's going on, what was the basis of that trade, whether to hold on to that trade or not, because you don't have any thought process put into the trade when you got in. So and then emotions kick in and you just end up taking a loss or doubling down, averaging down, and next thing you know, it goes against you and it's a big loss. So you have to have a plan. The market hours are only for trade execution. Okay. The plan, everything else happens before hours. It is off market hours, so that when the opening bell rings, you're just ready. You already know what position size you will get in. You already know what contract you will get in. You already know what stocks to look at and at what price level. So the idea is to get in at the price level, a particular price level, because the price will move from that particular price level sooner. It will get you out of the trade quicker. You don't have to sit all day and seeing your contract get decayed or anything like that. So anyways, just wanted to talk about that quickly. I mean, if this is not something that you are looking for from the service, please, I mean, you don't have to waste your time here. You can just go follow somebody who is giving out those alerts with the exact price points, because that is what you're looking for. So that's fine. Okay. Anyways, all right. So let's get started. Here's the Amazon weekly chart. Okay, so what's going on in this weekly chart is that the trend is still up, and it does look like that it is making, I mean, it's not really head and shoulder right now. I mean, it does give a feeling, right? I mean, you have, this is the neckline. So once Amazon breaks down from there or gets a bounce from there, because that's a heavy support level right there, that will be a decision, in the longer time frame, whether this neckline of this area of 28.90 holds as a support, or if we break down from there. Okay, so that is something to consider. Let's move into let me go daily time frame for right now. And you can see it's trading tightly. It's not giving any good trading opportunities once we let me put the levels in just to kind of give you an idea. So once we move out of these this sort of trading range, it can resolve the price overall, what it wants to do. But for right now, it's definitely been heavier, right? You see more bearish trend bars. Anytime we gap up, the stock sells off. And yes, we have been holding this 3080 support level here in the past week, right? This one we have bottom wick starting all the way from here, so this is a good support area, and anything over and above 3140 becomes the resistance because we have multiple touch points, 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So yeah, I mean, once we are above 3140, we can definitely see some higher prices or buyers attempting to take the price higher towards the next major resistance of 3189 area. So kind of just pay attention to that if you trade this name. Okay, this is an Apple weekly chart, and it again holding an uptrend, but it is finding some resistance here for the past few weeks now at this level here, just about between 125 and 120. It gets there, gets rejected. It tries to go above that price level again, gets rejected, and now we're sort of like banging against that resistance level for the past few weeks. And this was the election week where we got this big bullish trend bar, and since then we got this bottom wick and a little bit of retracement back, but we have not been able to get below the low of the previous week or even at the middle of this bullish trend bar. So that does give me some indication that there are still buyers in the market, and it's holding the price level to towards the top of its recent range. Getting into the daily time frame, we are above the short-term moving averages. That is a good sign, but the price has just been very choppy, sideways sort of an action. It's not really going anywhere. I mean, if you're buying options as weekly options to trade, it's just probably getting decayed unless or until you're kind of getting out with quick trades. Okay, so it's not really going anywhere. If you are trading this name, I would look for, because the highest close is right here. That was the highest close, which is something like above 120, 121 actually. I think so. That's what the price level was. But anyways, but once we get a close in a daily time frame, right, something like that sometime in the future here, in the next week, that is an indication that the price is trying to resolve to the upside, because overall I don't see any big major bearish trend bar except this one, right? So we tried to go above that one, couldn't do it. We tried to get below the low of that bearish trend bar, couldn't do it. So we're essentially in the middle here, and holding the price level. So we'll see what happens early next week, and see what if he gives us any trading opportunities. But I personally think there are better charts to trade than Apple for right now, that you can look at. Okay. All right, let's get into Zoom. Zoom has been pretty good to us so far, right? We traded this name heavily this past week. It was giving all indications of bullish price action in the lower time frame, and even it was holding this support level. Let me put the levels here. I'm going to do the weekly actually. So yeah, I mean, the weekly, we had a bottom wick, and then we never actually traded below the low of the previous week, and the price action in the daily indicated higher prices. So that was a good level to target, especially this 445 area, because that was the high of the previous weeks, and usually the price works like that. And this, I don't know if you can call it a bullish engulfing or not, but this last week is actually the open was below the close of the previous week, and the close is above the high, the close of its previous week, right? So let me show you. This kind of makes sense. So this was the close, this was the open, right? Oh, sorry, this was the open right here, and this was the close, and this last week we opened weak, but we closed pretty strong, right? So we kind of overcame the body of this candle, which is bullish in itself. Okay, so now let's get into the daily time frame, and I'll remove these lines for a bit, just to kind of give you an idea. And now we have this gap fill area, right? This was the Pfizer news that came out that they have come up with the vaccine, and that's what dropped the price with this gap down. And now we are banging against this price level, this resistance of 446, 445 area, right? And once the price goes above it, we will be in this gap fill mode, right? So we don't know if it will get filled one day or it will take 2 days or 3 days or whatever, but that's what traders will be looking at this coming week. And we have this earnings, I believe, on the 30th, it looks like, towards the end of this month. So the price can remain elevated, but with this COVID news coming out every now and then, the vaccine news and everything can have an impact. So you have to manage this name pretty carefully when you trade this one, right? But it is a good name to trade. It gives good ranges, good price action. So I like it. And then, you know, we traded this name. If I show you, let's say all the trades that I made, okay, let's see if it comes up. 30 minutes. Yeah, so all these trades, right? You know, I've been buying this name very actively all throughout the week, trading it actually. So yeah, I mean, it's a good name to trade, gives you good range. So yeah, and now right now it's kind of stair-stepping up, right? It's going up from one price level to the other, and that's what I was talking about. Our platform is not, for example, this was the level that we were waiting to kind of for the price to break out from, right? So our trade would be to get in at the break of this and just ride it higher for some time or till the next resistance level. We don't try to short or buy at the middle because you don't know, it will fail, come back down, or it will keep continuing to go back up. Okay. So that's not the trade. That's why we try to get into high probability, high quality setup so that the results, we see immediate results in our trades. Okay. Okay. So moving on to Netflix. One thing that immediately pops out is the, you know, sort of a support level that it has been testing, which used to be the resistance level, right? So if I draw a little line here, let me get my tool here. So if I draw a little line, this is right here, right? So this used to be resistance, and now this is support, right? So it's been acting as a support level. And looking into the weekly bar itself, it's range bound, very much tight and below the these short-term moving averages, but it is if you just kind of read about it for a second, is that we had this, let me get my tool again. So we had this down move, right? The big bearish trend bar. We did not see a big follow through to the downside, right? It just kind of hovered out here. And then we got this attempt back to the upside based on the elections, right? It kind of stopped here in the middle of this bearish trend bar and towards the high of this one. So that becomes effectively our resistance level to kind of consider, right? And then what happened the next week? We did not get any follow through to the upside. In fact, we gapped down a little bit, and then we held this support level. And last week, we again made a very tight range and held that support level, but couldn't even go above the high of its previous week. So that becomes a short-term resistance level to look for now for the stock to break to the upside. On Friday, if I drill down in the daily chart, it tried to make a little move to the upside, but the attempt failed, right? That's why you see this top wick on Friday as well. But for the most part, it was sort of range bound again, you can see. And if you go over and above this resistance line right here, the next one is right here around 496, and below 477 is the good support level right here. If you break down from there, 470, even 465 level can be in play. But we have a little gap here. So buyers will try to attempt. Bulls would like to see the price get above 496 eventually for the upside. Okay, so probably have your orders, buy orders ready once the price trades above 496, because there can be a lot of stop orders sitting here. People who are short this name, or if you are trying to short this name, look for the price to break down from this cluster of daily bars where it was holding this 477. So that can be serving as a stop level for the people who are long this name. So once the stock price drops below this, they can come out of their long trades, and at that time what it will do is it will add more pressure to the downside when everybody sells and the stock drops. So look for those kind of moves as you trade this name. This is a Tesla weekly chart. Nice, consistent, really, trading nicely up, and it got what everybody was looking for in this name, was the break of this triangle, right? So we did see that price action last week where it got out of that and made a nice new high. So nothing wrong with this price. Kind of a chart, still strong, minimal downside. Follow through to any bearish trend bars, so that's always a bullish sign. Good price, good volume here on this price level. Getting into the daily, so now I think everybody is looking for that pullback in this name to get long and try to see if they can play the upside back again. So the big retracement that can occur where it used to be a resistance and now that can play out as a support level is this level right here, 465, right? Because that was where we had multiple touch points previously where the stock tried to go above it and really couldn't do it. So that becomes essentially a support level now that the stock can come down towards, and then people can just kind of get long again at that level. If it gets to that level, but in the short term, definitely it can consolidate here before another leg up, because unless or until we start seeing the trend down or break down or big bearish bars, you have to assume that the trend is still up, and we are getting all these moving averages to kind of move sharply up, pointing up as well. So that's usually the first sign you see when these things start trending. Okay, so here are a couple of other charts that we usually don't trade, but I think I like them for this coming week. This is AMD weekly chart, very nice looking. For the most part, it's been trending up, and now since the past few weeks, actually maybe a few months, it's been just sort of in this sideways. Still a big nice range, right? Still a big nice range, but sort of flagging right here, right? So the next path, path to least resistance seems up, and we'll get there in a minute when I talk about it. But yeah, from the pattern perspective, this looks nice here, right? So what's going on in the daily time frame? We are holding the top range of this recent sort of channel here between 73 and 87. So, and the past week was nicely kind of consolidating and holding, and it's kind of banging against this 86 price level, which it seems to kind of gets sellers stepping around that level. So if we get up close above that level, a push above that level, good volume come in, yeah, that's a good buy signal to get long this name. And even in the daily time frame, we are above all these short-term moving averages. You see more bullish trend bars, right? You see more bullish trend bars in this name right here. This one. So yeah, that and any pullback like this in the middle of these bullish trend bars is very, the range is very small. The price is contained. You don't see any big red bar. So yeah, that's why the recent price action is bullish, and now we just need to kind of get above 86 to start seeing some higher prices in the near future. Okay, another name I like is JD. Look at this nice uptrend all the way, and the daily time frame right here looks very nice, and this is a good price sort of action. And the reason I say that is because this was the bearish trend bar, right, which got supported at 84 level. That has been the good it has been a resistance, and now it is acting as a good support, right? Multiple touch points there in the past. So that is a good sign. But now what really happened here in the last week is that this is an inside bar right here. We did kind of break down from that inside bar, but we did not see any follow through. We saw actually buyers step in and get the price back above, and now the top of this inside bar nicely coincides with the top of the Friday's high. So that is a good resistance level that everybody is probably looking at to kind of break out, the price to break out from, to continue towards its next top line resistance of 89.6 right here, right? Because we have multiple touch points at 89.6 as well. One is right here, two, and if you go on kind of back, 3 right here in the recent history. So that is the price level to target if and when we get above 87.9. I don't want to play this name bearish. I would look for the sort of a bullish price action in the lower time frame to trade this name towards the long side. But yeah, I mean, it does look nice in the longer time frame. I'm trying to stick with the higher trend and just you know, let the trade play out from there. There's nothing in this name that shows that this is bearish or anything. It's holding this breakout level that it broke out from in the back in late October. So yeah, I mean, good retracement from that 92 level. It can be a nice swing trade as well, actually. Okay. Another one is MDB. I was hoping to play this one myself, but I missed the entry here at the break of this 254 level. I had my eyes on it for the longest time, but then, you know, when the time came, I remember I never put a price alert on it, and it just kind of ran away from me. So, but good price action, right? A good close above this resistance level here. So the next level to target is 273, which is the swing high from back in mid-October time frame, right? So we can kind of go there, retrace a little bit, and start consolidating, and before we kind of go further up. But this is what it you know, it made a nice double bottom here as well, like this, a W, and yeah, so looks nice from the trading perspective. So look for further gains in this name. I mean, you know, I think this price level of 254 should act as support now if the price retraces a little bit. At least the first touch bounce can be a good trade in this name. Okay, before we wrap it up, let's take a look at SPY quickly. Always like to start with the weekly. So yeah, this was the big weekly sort of area that everybody had their eyes on, that it would break out from, which it did, and it did close above that price level as well. But this past week, yes, we have maintained you know, we are above that that resistance level. We closed above that, and as it's acting as support now. But the price itself, the structure of the candle is bearish, right? It did not really, don't have any bottom wick. It closed towards the low end of its weekly range. So just from that perspective, it's bearish, but we have to look at other things as well. And I mean, if I get into the daily time frame itself, yeah, I mean, this 258.1 remains the short-term resistance for the price to overcome that buyers will be looking at. And anything on the downside, the support comes at 354 immediately, right? That's the big level that we broke out from. In fact, we gapped up right here. So we have multiple touch points there, and then below that is 350, below that is 347, right? And that's where your 50 SMA will come in as well. If we trade there, look for that 50 SMA to kind of catch up and play, give us a little bit of bounce play if we kind of get there. Okay, so anything above 358, we have the top sort of range resistance here between 360 and 362, because that's a swing high from this one. Anything above, we have all-time high of 364 level, and then blue sky territories, anything over and above that. Okay, so just wanted to give you some levels to consider. Okay, thank you guys, and have a good rest of your weekend. Talk to you guys tomorrow in the morning.